title of my talk today is Finding Balance to Turn Chaos to Order. And we definitely got to have some chaos demonstrated this morning. And it is becoming balanced and coming into order. And before I begin, I just want to share with you how important musicians are to us. Music moves my soul, and it helps me do my talks and my meditation. So I called and talked to Andy earlier during the week, and I said, I really want to have you all participate a little more in this music. So you're going to see a little more music today as we go through our service. And I just want to say thank you again for being so supportive. Can you hear me? Okay. So in unity, divine order is defined as still getting over the throat surgery, but getting better. The perfect love of God expressing itself in as his creation. Divine order pervades and controls all visible material things, as well as the infinite silent, unseen powers. Every tiny speck of matter is constructed in this beautiful way. And so once again, when I know that I put my focus on a power, Spirit's certainly going to give me the opportunity to get a deeper experience of it. And surely the idea of divine order is a focus to really put our focus on. Because it shows up that any areas in our lives don't align with the divine ideas of our own personal purpose, those things are gonna come up and show up as chaos, frustration. And they're only asking to be healed or to take a deeper level into the spiritual understanding of our connection with God. And through this month, one of the main ideas that struck me was during the chaos, you can let your mind go crazy over all kinds of things and fears and stuff. And it's where you have to put your trust. Trust a higher power is working in your life. And as you trust, all of a sudden you're not as scattered. And you find that you are being guided to your divine purpose. Because each and every one of us have a divine purpose here on earth. And it's God's goodwill that wants to give us all those opportunities to be able to express that. It's only our smallness that shuts us off from that, our fears. So what we know is divine order is the alignment of all aspects of our life according to what is perceived as God's plan for us, what our purpose is, and our connection to the universe. And even through the growth and development of our consciousness and the spiritual path that we choose are dependent on our own thoughts and actions, because we do have free will. We are subject to a higher plan and a higher guidance. And one of the greatest juggling acts of our life is to find clarity, comfort, and purpose in our divine mission as we seek to navigate the sheer randomness in which we all exist. Some things along our life path just fall under the broad category of stuff just happens. Sometimes the stuff we experience is good, and other times it is extremely challenging. And at those times we feel that chaos in our life, and we become a little bit frantic. Just like that feeling that came up earlier, maybe with Donna, and the fact that she's wanting to set up our sound today and our Zoom, and it's not working. But as we breathe through it, it began to work, and how we could be able to also share with our Zoom friends and community members. There's a part of us that wants to hold on to what we know and what we think is safe and comfortable. And part of that is the beliefs that we built up about ourselves as we point. Those thoughts that kept us safe or kept us distant from somebody because from a group because we felt safer not opening up because of judgment. And so I ask, do you know what it feels like when you're in that stagnant relationship? That job that you're not happy with? Or whatever it is, but you're too afraid to move on and trust Spirit to guide the way, to listen and hear the guidance that can deepen your spiritual growth. We ask ourselves, are we being stagnant or are we growing? And is there a potential in us that wants to express what we're not honoring, keeping us from our divine mission life? There's a quote that I lived with for a long time, and it is, don't let your present good get in the way of your greater good. Breathe into that. Know that there is always a greater good trying to happen for you. So we're wanting to control our lives rather than remembering we have that divine order, which is the expression of perfect love of God, expressing itself harmoniously as a creation. We're not less than. We bring that God spirit through us and touch each other. And I've always had a practice of looking at the different seasons of nature as a guide and living my life through its seasons. Right now, we are experiencing the fall equinox. And fall is the season of harvest and gratitude. And then, as I'm going to share the seasons, winter is the season of introspection and nurturement. Spring represents new birth, and summer represents activity and growth. And I see that as we age from childhood to the time of death, transformation. Just like the farmer plants the crops and it starts as a seed and gets nourished in the ground during the winter until it sprouts in the spring, giving life. The activity of growing in the summer into the fall where we harvest, receive, reaping the bounty. But then we turn into the winter and realize we do need to let go of that beautiful expression. The trees show us that so beautifully right now with the changing of colors. So change doesn't have to be scary. It can be beautiful, expressive, and creative. Life's like that. We grow in our adolescent, young adult years, and then we reach our older years where we can look back and reap the benefit of our choices and learn to let go of the things that no longer serve us. Until we reach our elder years where we become at peace in our lives and move into our death, beginning and transition into a new life, a new expression of the divine. And not only do I look at it through our whole life spectrum, but I do that every year. Every year I take this idea of the seasons and look at how I manifested what happens in my year, in the past year, what choices I made so that I am what I'm experiencing right now. And then I get to make a choice. I get to use my free will to decide to either let go or give that energy and expand and deepen my spiritual experience. You know, it happened here at Unity of Beaverton. I looked at Unity of Beaverton last November. Reverend Ruth and I became the co-interim ministers for this ministry with the vision of seeing the ministry, this community grow. Back in November, we may have had less than 15 people. And now we're averaging anywhere from 25 to 30. We've grown as a spiritual community. We've attracted others to come here because of the love and the trust that we shared with each other. And that's something to celebrate. So celebrate that with me today as we look at what we're experiencing as far as what we're harvesting and what energies we want to put forward to receive more of and what to let go. And take a moment now just to imagine what nature evolving in your life and how it evolved. Right now, we're celebrating the autumn equinox. And this is one of the greatest times for the potential of creativity. So grab that sense of energy. The season's equinox marks the beginning of autumn, the season of change, reflection, and gratitude. This is the time of balance between light and dark, and it provides a wonderful opportunity for reflection and gratitude. Just breathe out. And as you breathe that in, remember, divine order is the perfect love of God expressing itself harmoniously as its creation. Divine order pervades and controls all visible material things, as well as the infinite, silent, unseen powers. Every tiny speck of matter is constructed in a beautiful, orderly way. That's talking about you too. Every part of you is constructed in a beautiful, orderly way when we listen to the divine guidance that we get from within. And when the seasons change, there's an abundance of energy available for us to use our spiritual knowledge. And I'm going to say it again because sometimes I need to hear it again and again, that the equinox represents the time of balance and transformation and offers that chance to reflect on what we've accomplished. So this is a season for that. But I do know that there's some of us that don't appreciate the dark, cold temperatures, the rainy days that are ahead. And sometimes that fall season in our life can become oppressive. But recognizing the significance of this season, both in nature and in our lives, we can shift our perspective to one of gratitude. The equinox is the day and the night are equal. Allow yourself to feel your energies balanced right now during this message. And use this time to reflect on the balance of light and dark within your own lives, acknowledging and accepting the difficult parts of life, the parts that we feel we yet have to work on. You know, we can get into the groove and we think that we finally get there. We got this, everything's going with the flow of nature and that. But all of a sudden something comes up and it knocks us off balance a little bit. Remember those times when you're in the flow of nature. When I'm that way, I make a decision. Wait a minute. I don't like this feeling of chaos. I don't like this feeling of disconnect. So I allow myself to be embraced and feel that energy of that loving presence of our Creator moving in and through me. It's an ebb and a flow, and it's a way to come back into balance. It does challenges. But you know what? As you look back through your life, And you've all had a lot of experiences that you know that even in the darkest times of your life in the past, you've always have made it through. That there is always a light at the end of the tunnel. So start today with the power of the falling harmonize. I invite you to reflect on the challenges you've had over the past year. Face them, look at them discerningly. And it may be too early to fully to understand what their purpose is, but try to see everything positive. Everything positive happens as a result. Even though it was upsetting, it's helpful to remember that our present circumstances are never permanent. Challenge yourself to find the good in the obstacles you've encountered or the pain that you felt, because there is always a higher good pushing you forward, even when it feels good, even when it feels bad. Each opportunity gives us a blessing in hindsight. So take this time to also reap the rewards of your hard work and reflecting on your blessings in your life. And I shared with Blaine and Annie that I felt like the meditation is very important to really get to that place. As a matter of fact, in our spiritual intimacy gathering yesterday, I shared that, hey, you can hear these words all day long, and they can go in the ears and kind of sit there for a minute, take it on, and then it kind of just flies out your ear. And even as a minister, we lose sight of our highest good at times, because we're none of us really in our perfection. And so I said, you know what I need? I need that time to go deeply within through meditation. And I asked the group to share creating that. And it was such a wonderful experience because it actually helped me to go within, to rediscover my own inner sanctuary that I've developed. But as you do go each time, you find newness in your inner sanctuary and a safety. So I'm going to ask you now to just start to get comfortable in your chairs. And I invite you, whether you want to close your eyes or open them, just allow yourself just to relax. And as you do, take a deep breath from your belly and into your nose, and then release it. Let's do it again. And one more time, take a breath. It's a cleansing breath to bring yourself present now.